Good morning, brothers and sisters in America and all over the world. Welcome to our morning devotion today. And to start off our day, let us offer a bow to our heavenly parents and true parents. 천지인 참부모님께 겸배. Hello. Now I'd like to invite Reverend Melhan for our family pledge.
가정맹세 1. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 번향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상인 지상천국과 천상천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천혜의극 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Melhan. And now for our opening prayer, I'd like to invite Dr. Thomas Ward. If you could unmute yourself.
Thank you. Morning, Dr. Young. Morning, brothers and sisters. Let's pray. Most precious Heavenly Parent, we come before you on this morning in order to connect our minds and our hearts to you. We know, our dear parent, that when Abraham came before you in order to offer his son Isaac, he did so with a silent and peaceful heart. He had made peace with what it was that laid ahead that he was called upon to do, and he did it, our dear parent. We know, our dearest Heavenly Parent, that when Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane, he went there with a peaceful heart, our dear parent. He had already determined ahead what it was that he was to do, and he was determined to do it and to fulfill it, our dear parent. The qualms, the battles, the struggles were gone. There was only your will and him, and the understanding that only he could make the next step forward. And we know, our dear parent, that when Father went to Danbury here in the United States, he went, our dear parent, with peace inside of his heart. So many things could have been obstacles, so many things that didn't happen the way they should have happened that somehow led to that. But at that moment, he was in absolute peace, our dear parent, with you, understanding that this is where he had to go and this is what he had to do. Dear parent, we stand before you at this time here in this nation, understanding that there is so much in this nation which has gone awry, so much in this nation, our dear parent, which needs to somehow come together. But we come before you each day, our dear parent, participating in this exercise, our dear parent, in this condition, in this devotion and expression of Jungsong, our dear parent, because our desire is to go forward with you in peace in order to accomplish all that you are expecting, our dear parent, and understanding that the difference between the realization of your will and its non-realization is each of us and our ability to go forward at this time. We thank you, our dear parent, that you have sent Dr. Young at this time here in the United States. We thank you, our dear parent, that day after day after day, he is setting this incredible condition of prayer, of sacrifice, of crying out to you, our dear parent, to ask which way to go forward, and in order to carve into our hearts, our dear parent, the yearning and the needs, our dear parent, that are required if we are able to be standing as your objects, as your representatives. So bless us on this day, our dear parent, as we start again, and bless this country on this day, our dear parent. Let this nation also be able to come silently before you and receive your will and be inspired and become real because of it. Bless this time, our dear parent, that we share together. We thank you for this opportunity to come together and to share and to receive your words, our dear parent, and to prepare ourselves to do your will on this day. We wish to offer you this prayer and time now, our dear parent, upholding the names of our true parents, in the names of Thomas and Alexa Ward of the Ward Blessed Central Family, and all of those gathered here together now. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you, Dr. Ward. Thank you so much for your really touching and beautiful prayer. You are a man of utmost sincerity itself. Thank you so much, Dr. Ward. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ward, for sharing that prayer with us this morning. And for those of you who just joined us, welcome to Morning Devotion today. And now it is time to go into our breakout rooms and share our gratitudes for today. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you enjoyed your breakout rooms and you had some amazing time starting this day with gratitude. And now for our first sharing, I'd like to invite Mrs. Naoki Kato. Naoko Kato, yes.
Yes. Oh, good morning, Diane. Yeah, thank you. I shared with
안녕하세요, 나오코상.
Dr. Young. Good morning. Thank you for
네, 굿모닝.
your hard work every day. I'm so grateful to attend every morning. I shared with Diane and Kenji-san, and especially this morning, I was very grateful to hear Dr. Ward's prayer, sincere prayer. And especially I remembered our true father one day before he went to Danbury. Our members gathered together on that day, that evening at the East Gardens yard. And Father spoken to us, and he said, do not worry about him. He is okay, and support our true mother during that time. So we are very sad, but Father never said about, because of this, it became this situation. He never says those things. He took, like Dr. Ward said, Abraham or Jesus. It was so peaceful. So I'm very grateful for Jesus or Abraham, and of course our true father Johnson, and the sacrifice for mankind. It was for me too, for my family, and for this country, for America, I think. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Naoko-san, for your beautiful sharing. I miss Belvedere, and every day I met you at the Belvedere, but recently I could not see your face. Someday I hope can see you in person. Thank you.
We miss you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Naoko-san, for sharing your gratitudes with me in the breakout room and then also with everyone. So now for our next sharing, I'd like to invite Mrs. Amy Rangala. Please unmute yourself and share with us.
Thank you. Yes, I was in the breakout room with Milan. Yeah, I was sharing about President Naokimi yesterday. He visited Clifton Church and then he came to the Elizabeth Family Church. So I attend both in Clifton Church and the Elizabeth Family Church. When President Naokimi, he was explaining some point about how we'll carry on the providence in our area, in our churches. So the second point was about how we can raise single to receive the blessings, especially second gen. And I put my hand, I mentioned the second one. That's what I was explaining to Milam, that I'm always so much concerned about our second generation. Yeah. When I see my children, they are 10, and then I know that there are other many second generation, they are not attending true parents. I always feel, they're in the wrong place, because I think, where are them? What are they doing? My God, because they're in the wrong place where they are. They belong here. We know that second gen are the fruit of sweat and tears and love of our beloved true parent. When we receive the blessing, we target, true parent knew that we'll have second generation, and they're the one who carry on the providence of restoration. But now most of them, they are not with us. So I always feel that this is a common responsibility. We have to be together to help them. Dr. Young yesterday mentioned that where there is a perfect plus, there is always a perfect manners will appear. So I was thinking, and I was sharing the group, which condition we can make enough condition, which will make them automatically come back so that really they can be here in the province, because this is where they belong. They don't belong where they are. So I'm always concerned about our second generation. That's what I share with Milam today.
Wow. Thank you so much, Aimi Langala. Regarding our second generation, thank you so much for your support and prayer. Really, this is our common responsibility. I think most important thing is, our first generation, our father and mother's figure, really come back again and then create beautiful unity environment. And everybody come to home and come to church can feel, wow, really God's presence here. Then gradually our all second generation will come back. That's why we need to, as a first generation, again, we need to determine to create beautiful heart culture, beautiful environment. And really when they see our parents, they really totally change, different atmosphere. They are really doing their job very, very well. Then they indirectly, directly influence very, very much. I think first thing, we are the one who need to create that kind of environment first. And then everybody put also together, how can we do more substantially in detail? That is our common responsibility as well. Thank you so much, our Aimi Langala sharing.
Thank you, Aunt Amy, for sharing. And looks like we already started with our internal guidance. That's amazing. So please let us open our hearts and welcome Dr. Chong-Shik Young.
안녕하세요. Good morning. Good morning. My dear brothers and sisters, clergy and members of peace, 안녕하십니까? Oh, now I am traveling here and there. I do not know sometimes where I am. Wow, a little bit busy schedule, but I am so glad to see our brothers and sisters in person. Yesterday, we had a breakfast meeting with the key members of a family church of South of Florida. And someone came from very far, 3 hours, 4 hours journey. Our state leader, local leaders, all really come together. Even our Cuba family church members also came and joined. It was a very beautiful meeting. We had a Sunday service at the family church of South of Florida, and I gave a sermon with the title of the 3 essential elements of realized channel group. This was a good photo and was yesterday also. I am very happy to see our Korean national Messiah to Cuba. Yeah, he's a little bit sick, but I was so happy to see him, and also our all dear brothers and sisters. So we had a lunch meeting with the members, Reverend Patton, shared about 2021 goals centering on True Mother's visit in December, and we had a question and answer session. Then we fly to South Carolina and arrive here at night. Our John Doos welcome us from the airport, and then also his staff. Thank you so much. Today is, already I mentioned in the past about True Mother again, talking about here, love for God and love for people and love for one's nation. So let's invite Heavenly Honey. Please read.
Born during the final years of the Japanese occupation of Korea, I grew up in an an oppressed environment. After our country gained independence, oppression continued at the hands of the communist regime. And yet, my family steadfastly attended God, and at the risk of our lives, we traveled south into South Korea in search of freedom. When the Korean War broke out, I moved as a refugee from school to school, from Seoul to Daegu, Jeju, Chuncheon, and back to Seoul. This imprinted upon me a great appreciation of education. Despite the post-war chaos, I graduated from Sunjung Girls Middle School in Seoul. I cannot forget that school, my alma mater and cradle of my life. The school you attend during your teenage years can be a significant influence on your future. When I visited the school 30 years after graduating, its name had changed to Sunjung, but some of my teachers were still there. They remembered me, and of course, I had not forgotten them. We were overjoyed to see one another and talked for a long time about those difficult days in the past.
Okay.
This school is now affiliated with our Sunhoc Educational Foundation. Applying our philosophy, it has become an exemplary educational institution. Our foundation includes 3 other specialized schools. Kyungbuk Elementary School, which opened in 1965, has a proud history and tradition. Sunjung Middle and High School produces competent young people by offering character education based on heart, in addition to excellent academics. These schools have international student bodies living and studying together with the aim of becoming global leaders. Another school, Sunjung International Tourism High School, prepares leaders for the hospitality industry. At that school, every year on National Teachers Day, we invite teachers who have defected from North Korea to attend our Teachers Day event in preparation for the day when the 2 Koreas will be reunited. Our network also includes other schools from kindergartens to the postgraduate level in Korea and on all 6 continents. In the United States, there are middle schools in Maryland, Connecticut, and California, a high school in Connecticut, a theological seminary in New York, and a university that teaches Oriental medicine in Las Vegas, Nevada. In Asia and Africa, including Nepal, Myanmar, Mozambique, and Rwanda, we have established schools according to the needs of the communities, including technical vocational schools. All our schools inspire their students to devote themselves to the world according to the founding philosophy of love for God, love for people, and love for one's nation.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. And True Mother said, all our schools inspire their students to devote themselves to the world according to the founding philosophy of loving for God, loving for people, and love for one's nation. And True Parents' educational philosophy, already I mentioned in the past, True Parents' educational philosophy is love for God, love for people, and love one's nation. Here, the love of God represents heaven. The love of human beings represents love of human beings represents all mankind, and the love of the country represents the earth, loving all things. The ideology of this education is to love everything, love people as you love God and love the land and country and woe as you love God. So then, how do we love God? This is an important point. Our true parents' educational motto. First one is what? In any academic, any educational institution, we need to remember and need to learn from true parents. So then, how do we love God? And then Matthew chapter 22, verse 36 to 39 says that, Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? And Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. Then, how can I love God with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind? I really love Jesus' guidance, even though he did not say it directly. What does it mean? Loving God with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind. What does it mean? There is nothing but filial piety towards my heavenly parents as a child. Second, how do you love someone? How do you love your people? It is love people with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind, in the same way as I love God. And third, how will I love my country? Think of the country as the representative of the earth, the representative of all things and the universe. And love the country with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind. In other words, we are to love God, people, and the country with filial piety. So true mother talking about the loving God and loving people and loving your country. How can we say that as a one word? That is a filial piety. Filial piety. To put the love of God, the love of people, and the love of the country in one word. It means to love everything with filial piety. Filial piety means toward your parents with all your heart and soul and mind. This is, even though Bible did not say directly filial piety, but the content is a filial piety, HJ. That's why true mother pick up the word 효정, filial heart, filial piety and heart. That's the key point. How to love God, how to love people, and also how to love country. So Jesus is talking about love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This vertical alignment. This vertical alignment is very, very important. This is the standard. This vertical alignment is standard on how to love something. Your standard is to love God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. And then this one becomes standard. This vertical alignment becomes standard you can apply to everything. That's why second is what? What's the the second greatest commandment? Love your neighbor as yourself. Myself is whom? God's child. I belong to God. So treat myself as God's belonging. And love your neighbor as God. Same attitude. There's no difference. When you love God with all your heart and mind and soul, same attitude to love your neighbor. And then same way, you need to love your nation. Father said, without loving your nation, you cannot love all mankind. You cannot love the world. You cannot love God. Because Your nation is representative of the earth, land, and all things. That's why love heaven, love earth, and then love human being. Everything there. Korean people say 천지인. This is our true parents' educational motto. Not just only theology seminary and any about our academic the institution. We need to really utilize and to these true parents three the content of the mottos. Today's Father's Word, the process which a victorious person who has dominion over the creation needs to go through. Very important content as well. Heavenly Honey, please.
The process which a victorious person who has dominion over the creation needs to go through. You cannot attain victorious dominion all at once. You have to encounter everything over and over again. The more you put gold into a fire, even tens of thousands of times, the purer it becomes. It doesn't become impure. In this way, in order to reach such a standard, you absolutely need to go through a difficult historical course. Otherwise, you cannot go beyond this realm. In terms of breaking through, you need to bear an individual cross, a family level cross, a tribe level cross, an ethnic group level cross, and a national level cross.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Your voice is almost now become normal. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so happy to hear. I can see you already recovering now. Thank you, Heavenly Honey. And then Father here talking about the process which a victorious person who has a dominion over the creation needs to go through. Father said, you cannot attain the victorious dominion all at once. On the victorious level, you have to start from the individual level cross and then go all the way to the cosmic level. You need to constant challenges. Do not be satisfied when you achieve one level. The reward for the hard work is what? The reward for hard work is what? More hardworking, my brothers and sisters. You need to go from the level mind and body unity as an individual, filial children in the family, tribal messiahs in the tribe, patriots in the nation, saints in the world, and all the way to the level of divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth. You have to encounter everything over and over and again and again. It takes many years for an angular stone to be round. You know, fallen people's nature is like an angular stone. You know, that's why whenever you deal with somebody and then easily hurt someone, that's why you really need to training. To be a person of love, you have to encounter things a lot. Many people often say, hurtful things to friends because of their harsh personalities. Fallen men easily make people hurt. As a children, hurt the parents' heart. As a spouse, you hurt your husband and your wife's heart. And then, parents sometimes easily hurt the children's heart. And then Cain easily hurt Abel's heart. Even Abel, the way to say easily make hurt Cain's heart. That's why fallen man. Our character is like that. That's why what's the best way? You have to encounter things a lot. You need to meet more people. You need to have a training. You need to know how to love people. The more you put gold into a fire, even tens of thousands of times, the purer it becomes, Father said. I also need to be trained to become stronger. That way, I will not be dominated by the evil environment. In this way, in order to reach such a standard, you absolutely need to go through a difficult historical course. Otherwise, you cannot go beyond this realm. To become a true man or a true woman, you have to fight the war and bump into each other and win. There is no victory without prize. You won't gain anything if you just stay at home comfortably. So, my brothers and sisters, go out into the world. You have to go out into the world and shine. Not just only stay at home comfortably. Without encounter with the people, there is no way to change our character. That's why witnessing the salvation is the best training to remove my fallen nature. You know, the salvation, which is witnessing, is the best training. How can I become man of true love? Just stay at home comfortably? I am telling you, there is no way to remove our fallen nature. The more I have trouble with the people, you need to get out from home and see the people, serving them, loving them, attend them. Without serving and attending, loving, sacrificing for the sake of others, there is no way to change our character. In terms of the breakthrough, Father said, you need to bear an individual cross, a family level cross, a tribal level cross, an ethnic group level cross, and national level cross. Wow. My brothers and sisters, what is life of faith? Life of faith is challenging. If you overcome individual cross and then challenging to overcome family level cross, and then another level, until I become perfect being, until I become really God's sons and daughters. Therefore, Father saying that life of faith is what? Challenging. And the life of faith is overcoming. Overcoming. That is the life of faith. Today's youth ministry, very, very important. And true parents' educational philosophy is love for God and love for people, love for country. In this sense, we thought about the purpose of true parents' establishment of our educational institution, not just only UTS seminary. But of course, true parents love really our seminary, and where we need to nurture many next generation in the future. How can we do? I think that's why I really think a lot our UTS in America. I'm continuously praying. I need my brothers and sisters. I need your help. When I was in the Philippines, because our Peter Kim, our true father's personal assistant, he really helped me to establish IPLC college in the Philippines. And because of his help and the true parents' contribution, and we built IPLC, and then we raised so many our own members. And then always I think that, what is our educational philosophy, our true parents' educational philosophy, And then please, let's just study about that. Then I collect the content from here and there, from True Father's Word. And then also really, I think deeply, how can we run properly our seminary, our school, our educational institution. So here, particularly today, I'm talking about why True Father founded theological seminary, not only theological seminaries, and also educational institution. Why young unificationists should study theology. true parents did not found schools of theology to education any particular theological body of knowledge or theory. Secular theological seminaries became places that groom career ministers. Just they, to get the job is become one of the job to become the minister. Theological seminaries should become a school where revived individuals gather to understand God's situation and inherit his heart. It should become a place that nurtures true filial sons and daughters and small messiahs. And then Father saying that you have to be second Mooney. Of course, we don't like the word of the Mooney, but Father himself often using the Moonies. You have to be second Mooney. That means what? We need to resemble true parents. We need to resemble Jesus. We need to resemble our true parents. We need to become small messiahs, second Reverend Moon, second about Jesus. That means what? We need to really have to be a filial sons and daughters. That's why our seminary, our educational institution should become a place that nurtures true filial sons and daughters. And then all of them become our true parents' second self. Theology should become a study of creating true children, true siblings, true couples, and true parents. And each core should be the theology of heart. How can I become true siblings? How can I become true, brothers and sisters and true children? How can I become true husband and wife? Finally, how can I become true father and true mother? This content should be the core content. Therefore, the seminary need firmly instill the identity of true parents and should become schools that nurture children in the likeness of true parents. That's why we need to teach very clearly who is true father, who is true mother, their identity. Without clear education of our true parents' identity, just only learning from outside the knowledge and theology does not make any sense. Anyway, our UTS, I did not know much about the clear of the curriculum, but when I heard here and then also hear the report from Dr. Ward, he's really doing his best with all the UTS professor. I really appreciate that. But while I'm talking to you, let's remind again what is our true parents' expectation. And the theological seminaries should not be schools that create messenger, servants, which mission is to spread God and true parents' word to the world. Or rather, they should be schools that educate students to become true children in front of true parents. Theological seminaries should become schools that raise students to whom the saints in the spiritual world can testify that the students have lived a life with God. This is a really important point. Even spiritual world recognize anyone graduate, UTS, our educational institution, even spiritual world testify that I am proud of you. You are really representative of God. You are really representative of true parents. I am really proud of you. Even spiritual world, who are living in spiritual world as a saints and sages, and then can testify. And then anyone graduate the UTS, and then, wow, everybody envy. I want to be something like that. Just as birds want to sit in the trees in front of the home of those who love God, And just as the neighborhood's dogs and children want to play at that home, a church needs to become a center of God's heart and our yearning for Him. That's why really our seminary, our educational institution should be the center of the longing heart. I miss our school president. I miss my professor. I miss my teacher. I really miss all my classmates. Our really school should be the really center of the longing heart, center of the God's heart. I think, not just only we are telling the knowledge, educating only knowledge. That's why Father saying very clearly, our theology should be heartistic theology, the heart of the theology. Our final goal is what? Heart of the theology. Teaching God's heart. Teaching true parents' heart. Teaching God's wishes, His sorrowful heart. Then anyone graduate from our seminary, our educational institution, everybody feel, I want to determine, I really want to liberate Heavenly Father's heart and true parents' heart. I want to liberate all mankind. Anyone, receive the certificate after graduating 4 years course or 2 years course or 3 years course, and then strong determination to contribute, to want to sacrifice, want to dedicate something for the sake of the world, for the sake of God. Attending theological seminars should become established as a compulsory education for all future young people, including second generation, third generation, unification movement members. Only then will there be a future for unificationist families. That's why I really, my heart, I really want to raise up our UTS, something like that. How we raising up our second gen and third gen, not only them, and also our youth leaders as a compulsory education, even minimum 2 years course. Anyone graduate high school, they need to go through the UTS as a heavenly duty course, as a heavenly compulsory education. Now our UTS situation is not simple economically in many ways. That's why I really announce to everybody, our beloved brothers and sisters. Of course, we have the financial crisis, this and that, but I really encourage all our dear blessed family, brothers and sisters, we need to pray how we can raise up our second generation, third generation, our first generation youth, and then become really heavenly school. If we pray together and God give us incredible wisdom and revelation, and then our school become very much a promising school, because now we are very much handful professors, but even though we are handful professors, they are really working very hard. That's why I think, I really ask our brothers and sisters help, pray for our school, and also financial support. Really someone, school means need to have a lot of investment. You see, even outside the school, even Korea, very famous school and university, they do not make money. Need to have a lot of investment. Our educational institution same need to have a lot of investment, not just only financial investment. That's why if we do not raise up properly our theological seminaries, then no future our movement. Any religious group, any famous Buddha group, into raise up future generation, they focus on, say their own seminaries. through seeing seminars, they can guess what is our future, their future. My brothers and sisters, really, not just only economical support. I need your support, Jeong-sung. That's why I am putting my Jeong-sung effort. How our school really, our true parents can proud of our school. I initiated that kind of institution in the Philippines, IPLC, together our Peter Kim. Our Peter Kim is an amazing man. He knows the future, our movement. So now I also, whenever I meet, some of our, UTS, the school teachers and professors and staff, they have that kind of enthusiasm. But for them, it's a very handful of people, still not enough. We need to have a support from our own brothers and sisters. Someone can contribute some idea, someone can contribute from the financial way. And then we think about our future generations. The future of unification is this one, in education. There is no education, no future. No future. That's why I really putting my Jeong-sung and effort. Within 1 or 2 years, I need to get some idea. And not just only rely on true mother's help, financial help us, this and that. How can we do by ourselves independently? Already true parents invest so much. From now on, we really need to take ownership, especially our school, our UTS, and what is the true father's and true parents' motivation to build our school UTS in America? When you see the current situation in UTS, we can guess our future, our America, also whole world. My brothers and sisters, education. Without education, how to raise up heavenly citizenship, how to raise up our second and third and youth group. There is no way. Education. Education of heart. Education of the filial piety. We need to have that kind of commitment from now on. Thank you. Once again, we need to remind our true parents the educational motto: love for God, love for people, love for your country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Young, for today's guidance. Again, really clear guidance on why true parents created UTS and how we should really have love for God, love for people, and for one's nation. And yes, that is true that our movement lies in education. So thank you so much for sharing with us today, Dr. Young. And now it's time to go into our breakout rooms and share our reflections. So I hope you can take this time to open your hearts and really share with our brothers and sisters. welcome back, everyone. Thank you for taking this incredible morning to share your reflection with our brothers and sisters. And now for our first sharing, I'd like to invite Uncle Jim and Aunt Gordon Gavin. Please unmute yourselves.
All right. Well, good morning, Dr. Young. Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's good to see everybody this morning.
Oh, 안녕하세요, Jim, and good run. Not good run, and God run. God run.
All right. Yeah, and we want to really thank Dr. Young and our headquarters staff and all the young leaders that we have coming up, like Diane and Milhan. Wow, we're so inspired by your leadership. But last night I had a dream, and I was over at Dan Pfefferman's house, and I said, Dan, that's my desk over there, and I had a new mission, and then Dr. Pak walked in, and I got up, and I was so happy to see him. I lifted him up in the air, and I hugged him, and I said, Dr. Pak, it's so good to see you. And I said, that's my desk over there. And I said, Mike Jenkins is downstairs, and we got these people over here. And it was just an exciting time to see him again. But this morning, I was very inspired by Dr. Young's message about raising up our young leaders, our young generation with the seminary, and having, true individuals, true families, and true parents, and having that kind of education of heart, that we can have that kind of love for God, that filial heart for God. Educating is the key. It's the key to everything. And my son Jatoma was over last night, and the last thing I said to him when I left the house, I said, Jatoma, we're starting Sunday school again.
Oh, good.
And I'm teaching the elder kids. Goodern's teaching the elementary, and we want you to make sure and bring all your children to the Sunday school. He said, oh, yeah, okay, Dad, I'll do it. But education is the key. And, Sunday school, seminary, whatever it is, we just have to educate that filial heart that Dr. Young is talking about. Thank you for the message, Dr. Young.
Wow, thank you so much, good run, and Jim. And how about your wife?
Well, I just remember, how much heart and love two parents put into the UTS, and it's so good to hear you carry that spirit on, and I think that is so inspiring. And yeah, we need that education, because we never went this way. We are building the kingdom, and our younger generation needs that education. Yes.
Thank you so much. 감사합니다. God bless you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gavin couple, for sharing. And now for our next sharing, I'd like to invite our very own Milhan Stevens.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Diane, for picking me. Yeah, sorry, Dr. Young, I had to say something. I was sharing in my breakout about UTS, and it's so interesting you talked about this today, because, looking at one of your last messages about loving the things that you hate, I'm taking that a little bit to an extreme, Dr. Young, and instead of writing appreciations, I've written down 21 things that I hate. And UTS has a lot of them and combined. I have a thesis that I haven't started, and it's driving me mad. And also I had to go to UTS last week to take care of our second gen, who are sick with COVID, and it's a really difficult situation. And I have every reason to hate UTS right now. So I was talking about this in the breakout, and Dr. Rashan DeSouza, she mentioned how when you preserve the seminary of the founder, you preserve them, their thoughts and their expression. And I realized Father is kind of he's not alive because the seminary is not alive. That wellspring of education for our youth and bringing at the heart of true parents, that's embedded there. I visited Hung Jinim's car, the car accident car, when I was there last time for the first time. I haven't actually seen it before until last week. And I was thinking about an older second-gen brother who told me something. He said that, Melhan, if Hung Jinim were here, there'd be no division. He would set everyone straight, and he would do it with being inclusive and loving and everything. And just now it's reflecting, I'm like, Hung Jinim's not dead. Hung Jinim is alive in us. That's who he sacrificed for. And so I know we can bring our second gen back if we just bring Hung Jinim's spirit together. And his wife is here on the earth, and his family is here too. So let's work together and do everything we can to bring our second gen back, bring everyone back, and bring the seminary up like a phoenix.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. Okay, let's invite our Dr. Ward. I love him. He's the one who really works so hard. Why don't you invite our Dr. Ward from UTS?
Yes, Dr. Ward, please unmute yourself and share with us today.
Well, I really am grateful that Dr. Young has such a heart towards education. And I think that all of us at UTS are very much looking forward to a greater partnership with Dr. Young to be able to establish a certain kind of a spirit at UTS that is needed so much. And the last time that we met with Dr. Young, he made an observation, which was, he said he felt that at UTS we need to have, and I agree with you, Milhan, we do need to have the spirit of Hung Jinim, but we also really need to have the spirit of Dr. Johan Lee. That founding spirit when Father first began UTS in Korea.
Yeah, right.
That we really need to inherit. And I believe that spirit has to come to us through Dr. Young, because he worked with Dr. Lee for so many years, and he was able to inherit that spirit, embody that spirit, and that explains a lot of the work that he's doing in America. It's because of that time and that experience. So we are really blessed to have him now here. And I believe that spirit that he has can also really be the basis of a launching pad to bring about the kinds of changes that we need to have at UTS. So I'm very, very grateful for the fact that you took the time to share these things, Dr. Young, this morning. And I consider it my homework to watch this lecture many times. I plan to.
Thank you, Dr. Ward. I think already, even though we are very handful of the philosophy, the professors in UTS, but they are working very hard. But if we support them, and not just only my own effort, I think our UTS already have some foundation, our brother senses effort, and I also invest some part, and then everybody put together, unite together. I think God surely show what to do, where to go. Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas Ward. 감사합니다.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ward, and thank you to our Reverend Melhan for sharing, as well as the Gavin couple for sharing your reflections. And now, brothers and sisters, we have for our reminders, as we always do every morning, is to remind everyone to attend with a kind of heart that's really going towards true parents and towards God, to really have the heart to be here as brothers and sisters. And inviting your trinities is also something important, so you can connect at a really artistic level. And then now we also have our link in the chat for donation. Please joyfully give from your heart. And I believe for our musical offering today, we have the Tadden family who will be offering a musical offering. So please unmute yourself.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Young. Today is my grandma's birthday, so we wanted to celebrate by offering a song.
Wow! Oh! Happy birthday! Also today, yeah. Also the Marcus, his birthday as well. Marcus from California, and also our Tadin family. Thank you. Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Young.
There you go.
Every day, so bring hands and onward bound. Let me on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand. A faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. My heart has known inside to say. The sun may dwell where hills abound. My grandma in this higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand. My faith on heaven's simple land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. I want to live above the world. The Satan's darts at me are hurled. Perfect the sky, the joyful sound. The songs of saints on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand. By faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. I want to scale the utmost heights and catch a gleam of glory bright. But till I break the heights I found, Lord, lead me on to higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand. By faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand. By faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane than I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground.
Whoa! Bravo! Beautiful song! Congratulations, birthday! However, first generation there and third generation there. Where is the second generation over there?
They're in the other room.
I see. Wow, I envy. And three generation really gathering together. Celebration of the birthday. Incredible. Thank you very much for your offering song.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tadden family, for sharing that beautiful song. That was amazing. And it's beautiful to see your like intergenerational, like, you know, being together, second generation, third and first in one room singing together. It's really beautiful. And happy birthday to Grandma Tadden. I don't know the first name, but thank you for sharing. And now for our closing prayer, I'd like to invite Eugene Angolio to share, to close us off with prayer. Thank you.
Okay, let's pray. Good morning to your most beloved heavenly parents, our beloved true parents. Thank you so much for your love, your care, and your protection. Thank you for allowing us to be able to gather here today, heavenly parents, to receive your word and your inspiration, to be able to receive the word of our beloved true parents, to learn about loving God, loving humanity, loving the nation, and also about the importance of theological seminaries and all the schools that our beloved true parents have established, and realizing the importance of education in our lives and the future of unification as Heavenly Parent. As we listen to your word every day, Heavenly Parent, please open our hearts that we not just receive, but truly may be able to change our hearts, Father, and cause there to be a stirring, Heavenly Parent, of your Spirit within us, Father, that we may be able to do our best to love your sons and daughters just like you love them. And as we witness, Heavenly Parent, it's not just to gain more people who follow true parents, but to really bring back your sons and daughters into your embrace, Heavenly Parent. And all the things that we do, please allow us to have the right motivation, a motivation of heart and of love, Heavenly Parent, because at the end of the day, that is the greatest thing we can inherit from you, not true parents, is your heart of love for all of your sons and your daughters, beloved Heavenly Parent. And so we pray for the spirit of our beloved Brother Hunjinin and Brother Hyojinin, Brother Hyojinin, and our beloved Timonim and our beloved true parents, of all of the investment and heart that they have invested into the world, Heavenly Parent, that we may be able to inherit their heart of love, of sacrifice, of determination. Beloved Heavenly Parent, that as our true mother is still here on earth, Father, we may be able to do our best during these 7 years to be able to bring victory to heaven, our beloved true parents. Our true mother said that if we really do love our true Father, then we will bring results. And so, beloved Heavenly Parent, we've already been told that to be able to be victorious, we have to go over a path of difficulty over and over again. So allow us to be sons and daughters who have the kind of iron will of our beloved true Father, to overcome any obstacle with a heart of love for you, Heavenly Parent. That by loving you and understanding your sorrowful heart, we'll be able to overcome any obstacles, beloved Heavenly Father. So we offer our lives to you completely, that we will not live thinking that we are our own Heavenly Parents, but that every aspect of our lives belongs to you. So on this day, please take charge and responsibility of our lives. Be the one who guides us in all the things that we are going to do, all the people we are going to meet, Heavenly Parent. That we may only think through you, Heavenly Parent, that you will guide our path and our steps. That in all of our lives, Heavenly Parent, we will live for you and our beloved children. And so we thank you so much for your love, and we thank you so much for your investment. We thank you so much for your heart, beloved Heavenly Parents, and we just pray that we may be able to be sons and daughters who are filial enough to be able to comfort your heart, beloved Heavenly Parents. So thank you for this day, and we offer it victoriously into your hands, reporting this prayer. Sincere humbly, my name is Angola, Church of Angola, Angola, Centuries family.
Wow, oh my God, Eugene. Wow, I don't know what to say. Thank you for your really very, very artistic, very tearful prayer. I'm really moved by your such a sincere prayer. And also, I love your hairstyle as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Eugene, for sharing that beautiful prayer. And I'm missing you, but thank you for sharing. And now, brothers and sisters, it is time to end our morning devotion for today. And I hope really for this Monday, we can really take what we received today from Dr. Young and practice it in our own lives. So we will see you tomorrow, and thank you for joining.
Thank you. 감사합니다. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Thank you.